Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, Seaford Board of Education meeting. My name is Kimberly Hopkins, and I'll be presiding. The first order of business to call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. The next item on our agenda is approval of the agenda as presented.
Chair Savage, I move to accept the agenda as presented. Jeff Booth, I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the pledge of allegiance and moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remain standing for a moment of silence. All right, the next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes. Hopefully everyone had the opportunity to review those, and I will just put a motion to approve if there's no changes.
Jeff Booth, I make the motion to approve the release.
Chair Savage, a second. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is public participation. We do have two forms on file, and the first one will be I'm just trying to think of it. And I also just wanted to say one other thing that I omitted, that the minutes that were approved was for January the 12th, 2026. All right, and the first one that we have is Mr. Mark Dickerson. So we'll have you come over to our lovely podium. And we'll just have you give us your name again, give us your address, and then we'll give you a couple of minutes to tell us what you want us to know.
Okay, all right, my name's Mark Dickerson. I live in Laurel, Delaware, graduated from Seaford. So I'm my name's Mark Dickerson. I'm the Vice President of the Seaford Athletic Alumni Association. And what I'm going to do here today, I'm going to invite the school board members, the superintendent, Dr. Sharon B. Girolamo, Assistant Superintendent Jason Cameron, and all Seaford School District staff to our mixer that we are having on March 28th at the Seaford Moose Lodge. This is a special evening to bring is being held to support our Blue Jays student athletes and help raise funds for Seaford athletics. The event will begin at 6 p.m. at the Seaford Moose and will feature after dinner snacks, delicious desserts prepared by our very own Seaford School District culinary chef, a cash bar, exciting auctions, music, and a few fun surprises throughout the day. So again, it's March 28th, 6 o'clock at the Seaford Moose, and I invite everybody to join us. And again, what we do as the Seaford Athletic Alumni Association, our main goal is to raise money to help our student athletes in the Seaford School District. We've been around for a few years now, so I think we're really on the verge of doing a lot of great things with our association, and we'd love to have you guys there. So I'm going to pass out tickets to you guys and hope you can join us.
Awesome. And go ahead. So question, what's the dress code?
Yeah, it's at the Moose.
I never felt I always
Like if you came like Jeff, you'd be way overdressed. We'd probably keep you out. But if you come like,
down.
yeah. But I mean, like jeans, it's going to be fine. If you played a sport, if you wore a jersey or something, that'd be nice too. Even if you didn't go to Seaford High School or you just wore a jersey, that'd be fine too. But there's, yeah. So there's no formal. So at this event, we're gonna have, some awesome, items. We're gonna have, karaoke, I believe. So it's gonna be fun. We'll have a lot of neat things.
Question for you,
Yes.
since, there's been an uptick in, winning seasons in our sports, have you seen more giving or participation in the athletic association?
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, I've been a seeker for a long time. I've seen a lot of ups and downs in seeker. You already have it.
That's one, GG.
Yeah,
That's someone else.
Three.
And especially with social media, it's a lot easier to see all the, respect that our sports teams are getting. Back in the eighties when we were good at a lot of sports, you know, you just read about it in newspaper, word of mouth, but now with social media, you can really see a lot of, community involvement in our sports, in our football, basketball, field hockey programs. And it's really good to see that uptick in enthusiasm in our community that's derived from our, athletic program. So, yeah, it's been a really nice ride here lately,
Yeah,
with our sport teams, absolutely.
well, hopefully those in, internet land that come join us on Saturday as we take on Dover for the King Open Conference Championship.
Yes.
So tickets on sale tomorrow.
Yeah. And we gotta do something about it being played over too.
Me and D already got the movie.
Yeah, I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, we try to get
That's-
some attitude.
Yeah, that's a issue. Yeah. Well, thanks for fighting, you know, because a lot of people understand the importance of a neutral site plus their game.
Absolutely.
And,
Jam packed.
it seems like there's people in some positions stick to their way and there's no movement. I mean, common sense just kind of evades them sometimes.
Not to get off the subject, the other situation I have with them is they don't offer up the whole gym. A lot of times it's been like half of.
It is, you can't sit, and that's the IAA, they won't let anybody sit behind the team, so that takes that whole side out.
Away, exactly.
Oh,
That's why we need another area.
Yeah,
So we're like this.
yeah.
And I mean, they have a decent sized gym, but they were doing a half, so.
Yeah, they, you know, this day and age with things being on TV and stuff like that, kind of still more family friendly that even if you can't make it to the game, you can watch it. So hopefully we'll have Jim back and a good group watching it on TV as well.
Well, thank you for my ticket.
You're
Well,
welcome.
appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah,
Alright.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So our next public participation is, Ms. Jennifer Castwater. And Cindy will have you come to the fancy podium, and we'll have you repeat your name and your address, and then let us know what your topic is.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Basswaters. I live on Horseshoe Road in Seaford. So good evening, Seaford School District board members and community. I am a parent of two children in the school district, a seventh grader at the middle school and a third grader at Central Elementary in the Spanish immersion program, who also participates in the Gifted and Talented program. My husband is Dr. Ian Passwaters. He is a graduate of the Seaford Senior High School class of 1997, and he currently serves the community as a pharmacist, and I'm a nurse practitioner, and I also sub for the district. So we have two concerns that we would like addressed tonight. The number one is the timely reporting of absences, and also if the Gifted and Talented program is meeting state standards. So on Wednesday, February 11th, I received a text message at 10:50 a.m. that my middle schooler was absent, who was supposed to have been on the bus. So my question is, what is the district policy on the timely notification of absences? Because this was almost 3 hours into the school day. The second issue is, from our understanding, the current Gifted and Talented program in the district only includes one 45-minute pull-out session for enrolled students each week. We are questioning if the current program is meeting the requirements set forth by the state after reviewing the Department of Education guidelines. While the guidelines do not mandate a minimum number of service minutes per week, they do mandate that gifted students receive differentiated services sufficient to meet their demonstrated needs. While the 45-minute session may technically qualify as a service, is it fully meeting best practice standards for gifted education? I am fairly certain that there are no additional services offered to students in the Gifted and Talented program. When asking my child's teacher about the program and why it is not more robust, her answer was, well, we have a lot of poverty here. This is unacceptable, and all the more reason we should have a more robust program in a district that is already underserved. So my questions are, how is the district meeting the differentiated educational programs or services beyond the regular curriculum for gifted and talented students? How does the district determine whether the current service model is sufficient to meet the demonstrated needs of these students? Is there data showing that the current level of service results in academic growth beyond grade level expectations? And if there are additional services, what evidence exists that these gifted students are receiving consistent differentiation within their classroom on a daily basis? And finally, is there a process for parents to request a program review or reevaluation of service adequacy? Seaford School District's motto is success for every student. Gifted students are every student. Their needs are not optional, enrichment-based extras. They are documented learning needs recognized under Delaware regulation. Success for gifted learners means more than participation. It means sustained challenge, measurable growth, and an instruction matched to their demonstrated ability. If we believe in the success for every student, then we must also ensure that our gifted students receive services that are sufficient, intentional, and aligned with both state requirements and their academic potential. I am asking for clarity on whether the current model truly fulfills the promise embedded in our district's motto. I respectfully ask that we evaluate whether our services reflect not just minimum compliance, but genuine commitment to success for every student. Thank you for your time and dedication to our children.
Thank you.
Yes, that, we're thinking alike here.
Yes. Would it be possible for you to port that,
Yes,
To your question.
yes,
Yes.
to our superintendent?
I know it was a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
I was taking notes.
I was trying to take
Yeah.
notes too, but thank you, but, so you support that, that would be
Yes.
great for our superintendent, and then they will follow up with you.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, well written.
I spent a lot of time.
Yeah, you thought that. Good stuff.
So then there's different folks I'll need to talk to about,
Okay.
both the questions and kind of circumstances and.
I mean, so for a little more background, I worked for Cape Henlopen as a school nurse for 2 years, so I'm familiar with their program, which is very robust. Their students are pulled out every day for almost half of their day into a specific gifted and talented classroom. I spoke to someone who works at Woodbridge. Their children get about 3 to 3.5 hours a week of gifted and talented specialized. So I don't feel like, I am happy that we have a program, but my child is frankly bored. And the differentiated piece is what we're missing. She loves what she gets to do with Mr. White, and we enjoy it. It is broadening her horizons, but she's not getting the ELA, the math, which is where she is excelling. I mean, her scores are, and I know she's not the only one. This is for everybody. It's not just for my child, so.
And I appreciate your bringing it to our awareness because, during my tenure, certainly we haven't done an analysis of that sort. And so perhaps it is time.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next we have Dr. Harrison Heidi. Come here, there you are. Going to do our presentation for us. And Dr. Harrison is our principal of the high school.
Hi, everybody. Yes, as Ms. Hopkins said, I'm Dr. Susan Harrison. I am the high school principal, and so we have had a lot of wonderful success with our athletic teams this year, and I also thought it was a nice time between semesters to kind of talk about the academics that we offer at the high school and how we've increased those offerings over the past 4 years. It's my 4th year here. So you'll see here that this first slide is all about our college readiness and all of the sections that we offer in dual enrollment. So we work with Del Tech, we work with the University of Delaware, and work with Del State, and they provide a variety of these enrollment opportunities for us. It is typically for our juniors and seniors who are able to attend these. And you'll see that for our first semester, we had 11 total sections, we had 159 students, and we had an overall pass rate of 99%, which I think is pretty amazing, to be honest. And then our academic challenge, we had 4 total sections per semester and 7 total students, and our overall pass rate there was 100%. Some of the students in academic challenge are also in our dual enrollment classes. And then something that Ms. Fay put together for the first time this year is that we had DSU, Del State, come and do on-site acceptances. And we had 19 students who were accepted in the vote. So I just wanted to talk about all of the college things that we're doing for kids, because I know our SAT scores are not where we want them to be. But I think there's lots of ways to measure if kids are ready to go to a 4-year school. And this is just one of those ways that we do that.
Well, you talked about the the SU acceptance, were those kids, excuse me, those students, presented the Inspire Scholarship?
I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if that was part of that on-site acceptance. What they did was
Okay,
they met with them and they reviewed their academic records and their behavior records. And they, after looking at those, they said you would be accepted to go to Del State. All the financial aids and the packages would come at a later time when they worked with the registrar. So this was just like in the moment, they meet, they do their interview, and then they were accepted.
Is this something new for the high school or
Yes,
is this?
this was, the on-site acceptances were new this year for the high school, and our enrollments in dual enrollment, are much larger. We added chem and bio last year. We added world history and US history last year, and we added the Spanish this year, and we also added the hydroponic, which is the last one that's in our ag science. So the ag science pathway used to end in an AP course, and we replaced that AP course with a Delta and hydroponic course.
I personally love it. And I can speak from having a recent grad from last year, was able to transfer 4 courses from Del Tech to Delaware State University.
Great.
To the point that his advisor had started looking at his sophomore year for classes to complete him with full time.
Good.
So,
This is one of the things that I really wanted to change from the AP classes. We had so many AP offerings, and we had students that were getting okay on the exam, but even getting a 3 didn't guarantee them credit. Whereas switching to dual enrollment, students who get a 70% or higher are guaranteed that college credit. It may come through as an elective credit, it may come through as a core credit, that's up to the college that they go to. But that acceptance rate has really changed the game for our kids.
yeah, and it kind of reminds me, and Derek probably remembers this, when we had the opportunity, if we were like in like talent search or different programs like that, where the different districts were given like 10 slots and you can take, classes, but we actually had to drive to Del Tech and take the classes, which is what I had to do. So it's very beneficial that the courses are now taught in the school.
Yes.
So you don't have to have the child on the road, Monday night,
Correct.
6 to 9 p.m. to take the class to get the credit. So, I think it's great.
Thank you. And Del Tech, that's our teachers, they have to go through application process through Del Tech. And then our teachers follow their college syllabi and instructional materials. So that's our college readiness.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then the next slide talks about the career readiness. So we're graded on lots of things, but one of the things that we're graded on is CCR, college and career readiness. And so that career readiness comes through our CTE programs. So in this first semester, Ms. Austin Richardson had 5 students elect to take the parapro through her K-12 education program, and they all passed, which means now they are prepared to be paras either here or some other place. And that test is 2.5 hours, it's 90 questions, and it tests their reading, writing, and math skills. Dr. Fleshier has worked really hard with Sussex Tech for their after-school programming. Excuse me, and so he has had 3 of our actually, we have 7 students who are in the phlebotomy program, and 3 earned in the first semester, and we have 4 that are currently enrolled. And that program is 24 weeks, it's 224 hours of a hybrid program, which is virtual classes, and then clinicals that are in person. And then we have 2 kids from first semester who earned their CNA, and that class is 10 weeks and 100 hours of hybrid. And then second semester, Dr. Fleshier is working with Sussex Tech to see if we can get additional programming. Last year we did heavy equipment and welding, or heavy machinery and welding. So we're hoping to be able to bring that back again. And then we'll also have our CTE folks in the culinary program work through their state certification. So all of these things build our recognition in the state and build our scorecard for state recognition as well. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And just to say, the CMA class requires a written portion and a skill portion. So they actually have to get checked off by someone who's very walking to do the skills. And that's awesome, awesome. So,
I guess I should send it.
all right, so, yes, Dr. Savage was thinking about you and said if you need to leave, that's perfectly fine. If you want to stay, that's also perfectly fine.
I'm gonna run it on Mark, to see the voice thing.
Report back to us, please. And now we're gonna get into our superintendent's communication.
All right, good evening.
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all. Have a good night.
Yeah, I'm too.
So as Dr. Benson said, we are celebrating 6 years of Southern Division champ with our basketball team. On Saturday, we have our Hemlopen Conference Championship playing against Dover at
Dover.
I know. We're gonna get it to a neutral site. I have been fully informed of all of the historical piece there, and we'll do it. So we have that. Tickets will go on sale starting tomorrow here at district office from 9 to 12. And then on Thursday from 1 to 4, we'll have ticket sales in the Oak Room. We would ask folks to park in the back. We'll make sure that there's space there, ring the doorbell, and then somebody will sell the tickets. They are $10 a piece, limit of 6. Tell me all the details.
And you're also gonna sell, students will have the opportunity to purchase in the
Over
cafeteria
at
as
the high
well.
school. Yep.
And if you don't get a ticket from us, you can buy a ticket at the gate if they're still available.
All right. If I can direct your attention to the left, we also have 2 awards that have come in since the last board meeting. We have our Delaware Team of the Year plaque and our Coach of the Year, football. So that is pretty cool too. We will add those to the case.
Dr. Benson, would you like to hold those up to our audience at home to actually see them? Or can that?
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah.
Not your little trophy.
Yeah.
I wasn't even mine.
I wasn't even gonna say it.
For the folks at home, this is the Coach of the Year that Coach Phillips got. Thank you. Very nice. And where will those be displayed?
Well, the coach of the year one, I think, is gonna be displayed in the Phillips Den.
Oh.
So it is
That's
the
the
team
Team
plaque.
of the Year.
I will, we will be giving to Dr. Harrison after this meeting for her to display as appropriate.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great. That'll be a
I'll
great.
take my spot.
We also have to celebrate the fact that 2 of our schools, Fred Douglass and Central Elementary, were identified as 2026 schools of continued excellence. So that is for consistent academic growth, narrowing achievement gaps, and just all around being fabulous schools. My final piece to share is I'd like to thank you guys as board members in the community. I was able to attend the National Superintendent's Conference last week. And I know I've been superintendent for 3 years. It was my first time attending, and it was quite worthwhile. It was really interesting to meet and talk with superintendents from across the country and seeing how many similarities there were, but also just how many differences between urban, rural, the size of the district, the challenges, different folks face. So it was definitely worthwhile, and thank you for urging me to attend. Absolutely appreciate that. Yeah. I think that's all.
Did you invite them to come to the NSBA to see us?
I did not.
Did you do
That-
is that part of your communication or let folks know that we're going to the end prison?
I can certainly talk about that. We will be presenting, is that on?
No, I was gonna say it.
Okay. I will let you do that part then. It made me think of something though.
Okay. No. Okay. All right, well, we'll come to you. And, we are happy that you did attend, so next we'll talk about more communication. We are happy that you attended. We do understand that, our superintendents across our great state, we understand you guys do need, but, in order to kind of get uncomfortable and grow, you need to go see what other states are doing in that work, so you can add that stuff to your toolbox. So I'm glad you went to Nashville, so see what they're talking about. So speaking of networking and seeing what other boards do, we're actually gonna have our National School Board Association, conference this year is going back to San Antonio. And this would be the first year that as a board that we're actually gonna do a presentation while out there. So I'm kind of excited about that. mainly because I have attended, sessions that Cape and Lothan School Board has put on.
Okay.
So it's nice that, another Sussex County, district will be presenting, or another school board in Delaware, I should say, is presenting.
And I think we'll be, unique in that we will have our entire board there.
Mhm.
That's really something to celebrate.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That'll be in April, starting over spring break.
For the end of spring break.
So that'll be, some good stuff. Holly, do you have anything else that you would like to add?
I would say,
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, thank everyone that, attended and was a part of our second annual, Hall of Fame presentation
Yeah.
ceremony. I thought it turned out pretty well, I think everyone was excited, were inducted. And so thank you, Gigi, thank you, Mr. King, and the whole gang who was a part of, helping put this on. Did a great job, and planning again for next year.
Oh, and also since our last board, meeting, we had another, recognition, one of our baseball players was earned his 1,000th, point,
We did.
since our last
Lots has
basketball
happened
game.
since our last
Well,
meeting.
so shout out to Vincent Evans to the third. He'll be going up on the wall soon sometime, shortly, once he graduates.
Yeah, and that's good stuff. We're, having a thought about the whole thing, and I just wanna say that, do you see how excited the recipients are? Especially how, what, the 1980s, baseball team, how excited, it was just like, them all coming back together again, like old days and stuff. I was barely walking the game. But their excitement was, their excitement was palpable, so it was, just exciting, and also having a couple of members from the 1955,
Yeah.
like seriously, and, thank you, Gigi, for bringing the original football to that,
Yeah,
to be
nice.
able to see and some of the plays. So I think it just really is nostalgic. It really takes people back to their time playing for Seaford, and it really is a good time, and it's open to the public, so next year, look for the announcements and stuff on, social media and stuff, it is open to the community, to celebrate with people that have graduated, from our awesome district, so that's some good stuff. All right, so now we're gonna get into some business, it's like Mr. Cameron, you're up with some GBECR, drug and alcohol-free workplace regulation.
And if it's okay with you, President Hopkins, I can take 6.04 and 6.05 together because they kind of tie together. So at January board meeting, we had the second reading for GBEC, drug and alcohol-free workplace policy. And I mentioned there that usually we have the second reading, we tend to bring the regulation with that. The regulation wasn't quite ready. We were still working with our council in regard to a few things in the regulation. So the regulation is now ready to go. A couple changes to it. There had to be a piece put in there in regards to marijuana, since the medicinal marijuana and recreational marijuana are legal in the state of Delaware. But it's simply treated the same way as alcohol, to the point is you can't come to work drunk, you can't come to work having used marijuana in that sense. The other piece changed to the end of the policy, in the end of the regulation, I'm sorry. Used to be a sign off there for you to sign that you had received it. That's all done electronically through our hiring process. So we were able to remove that from the regulation. It is still done as part of the hiring process, but it's all electronic. They receive that regulation and they sign off they have received it. So we can take that piece out of there. Then to the exhibit, we added that. What happens there is, this was at the advice council, is there is a sign, and I should bring it up here. Multitasking. It's a consent form. So if we do have an employee who we feel is under the influence of drugs or alcohol, they now sign off on a consent form to test. It used to be, hey, we're telling you orally, we ask you to test, they would say, yes, you can test me or no. This kind of ties some things up, so if you ever get down the road, it's, well, no, I never said I would. This was once the advice, so this is following the best practice of our attorney as well. So the regulation and exhibit would get added, is going to come in. Remember, regulation exhibits are not voted on by the board, we share them with you, and they are, so everybody knows, part of our policy committee meetings that meet every month, which does have, Dr. Savage and Mr. Wright serving on it for the board. So it does go through a board vetting process, not just like we're saying, hey, here's the regulations, or here's the exhibit, it's all worked on together as a group, but, that's why there's no vote on either between them.
Thank you. All right, next item, on our agenda is our 6.06 GCB, D-R, professional staff funds and fixed regulation, and that also is,
Yeah, so updates. That. the BCG. That one? Yes, there we go, sorry, couldn't see the whole thing up there. This basic, change here in this regulation is around the, tuition reimbursement process. And it really got it up to par with what we have in practice based on when semesters are ending and different things. The previous policy, we just had to tweak a little bit of the times and looking at it. So that's really the only big change, and kind of get in line with what we have done, even though it was revised back in '93. Obviously, some changes have happened since 1993 with how some stuff had to be done. So I think it was done, and there was never an issue with it, but this gets us in line with what our actual practice is.
I see that we have, minimum and maximum requirements as far as funds. Is there a particular, max limit of students that we have that are able to participate in the district based off of our funding?
There is not. I mean, basically what we do is you have the funding, everybody who takes during the first quarter, anybody who puts in for it goes in there, and then we base the money off of that process. And then if there happens to be more money left towards the end, maybe somebody gets a little bit more, as we go, but there's no max. It's really based upon how many people put in. And that the amount that we start with is negotiated in the collective bargaining agreement by both sides.
How often are, our, I guess, staff taking advantage of this opportunity?
A lot, because I sign a lot of papers for the reimbursement. It varies, sometimes more than others, but there's always folks taking advantage of it, and never just in the singular. I would say that at any given time, we probably have anywhere from 12 to 20, depending on the semester, that are taking advantage of it. Karen, would you? Yeah. Miss Mask for years did the reimbursement, and she'll tell you that a lot of folks take advantage of it. Yeah.
awesome. Next item we have, is 6.07 GCG, part-time and servitude on professional staff employment policy.
So the policy has no changes to it. It is just, to add a review, but as part of that, are you okay if I go on to 6.08, the regulation?
You got it.
Go. Part of the regulation is that we, are looking to delete the exhibits, because part of it is in the substitute reporting. There used to be the two exhibits were sheets of what a report was based on what the substitute did, that a teacher or a principal could fill out based on what was going on. That is all done through our frontline system audit that they can go through and do that electronically now. So there's no need for, I shouldn't say frontline, our substitute management system, which happens to be frontline. So what we're changing in the regulation is that's what we're going to use. And since we're using the substitute management system electronically, we no longer need the exhibits. So that was really the big change in this in the regulation.
So the next item on our agenda are action items. The first one being a 7.01, fill trucks, and there are 3 down there. So we have, February 26th, 2026. We have our, AP, Spanish students, they'll be at Seaford High School, 7:15 to 3:30. They'll be going to, Washington DC. The students will enjoy a live professional performance in a Spanish theater. That would be nice. Give me that one.
Probably, you should go.
I should have asked, Dr. Harrison before she. On February 27th through 28th, the wrestling students for Seaford High School, the departing at 12 noon on the 27th, they'll return the evening of, the 28th. Here in Lewis, Delaware, the state wrestling tournament and Cape Open. So that'd be awesome.
And
What is-
understandably, yeah, right, it's not such a long way, I guess, that they play so late in the evening, and then they have to report back again early in the morning.
So,
that
yeah,
might-
I would just say, is we don't know, we'll know after this Saturday whether we have anybody qualified or not, but we needed to get this in here since it's an overnight. And really what it comes down to is they wrestle late into the evening Friday, depending if you're in the constellations,
It could
you
be
might be
early.
right real quick, and so it just made sense that, and they had the money in their account to do it, they wanted to get it on there. Hopefully we have wrestler qualify for that, and a parent of a wrestler from another school last year, may or may not have rented a room down there for the same purposes, so.
Yeah, it's a lot to try to do it, drive back and forth and make sure your kids rested up and fed, ready to go.
And then the next one will be, May 18th, 2026, the fifth grade students from Central Elementary School will leave for Washington DC at 9:30 a.m. and they'll return at 5:30 p.m. The students will get first-hand experience with reading topics such as Native American, civil rights, slavery, and et cetera. I'm not sure if that's what, like, at a museum or if they're just, walk around with that.
What is it? It's multiple museum locations or?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your whole experience.
Got it.
Well, I love that because I do it sometimes. We'll go park and then we'll hit all they're free, so we'll hit all of them. So I just make sure they bring back some, actually not ice cream, okay? All right, so those are our three field trips, those are action items, so we need a motion to approve.
Sarah Savage, I move to approve field trip agenda as presented.
Jeff Benson, a second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Alright.
Opposed? And that motion carries. You good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, the next item on our agenda is facility request, and we do not have any. And then the next item on our agenda is our action item for, GCDDA, administrative staff from benefits policy, and I will be looking to approve the second reading.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion to approve the second reading of GCA administrative staff fringe benefits policy and second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And then the next one would be, for support staff fringe benefits policy, that 2 is an action item, to approve the second reading, and I'll read the motion.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion to approve second reading of GDB support staff fringe benefits policy is removed. Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. We will now move along to, 7.05, financial reports, and that will be Mr. Hill.
All right, just prior to this, we did have a citizen budget oversight committee, it went well, shared with them a lot of things, upcoming year, things we've done recently. Also did share with them, a few audit findings we had, which were very small, but, was something we already had corrective action in place. So those aren't negative, they were very small. Those are things that help make us stronger as a district, because that's why we even had the auditor's office in place, is to make sure policies that we've set and live up. So just want to make you aware of that. Another thing that I heard tonight is, as a theme, is investment in people. I heard several things, and I want to say thank you, because you invested in people tonight by talking about conferences. You talked about tuition reimbursement, and you also talked about field trips. And I think we talk numbers, but this is investment. This is investment in people. It's investment in students, and y'all do a great job of doing that. And I think that's what sets us basically sets us apart from other districts, is you see the whole child and you also see the whole family. And I think that's great, because again, I just was taking a note of everything. So thank you, because this means something more than just numbers, and I want to make sure that you are, commended for that. As of month end, we are at 58.9%, of the year of January, but we are trending lower at 56.36 total encumbered and expended. That's a good thing. Remember, we're actually trending lower than where we are in the fiscal year. Overall, we have 7.2 million expended with 642K encumbered, which takes us to 7.9 million total expended. And with everything included, we're basically sitting at a remaining balance for the year for discretionary funds at 6.1 million. Any questions on that?
No.
All right, next slide. Tax collection. We had another really good month. I mentioned this last month. What I can tell you is this month did come in, I think it was yesterday. We are back down in the 5-digit taxes, not in the 6 figures like we were. So we are trending downward in regards to what's coming in. If you look though, we only have about 600,000 to make up overall over the next few months to get us to June. We are going to be close in regards to that. What is very, hard to tell, but we pretty much can trend is delinquent years coming in is going to make up some of that difference, which always happens each year. But we will probably be close to the 10.6. But the good thing is we get a second payment of senior property tax and disabled veterans tax credit, which will come in soon. Well, actually, it won't come in soon. It'll come in the 11th hour, and we'll all be pushing for it. But it will come in before the end of the school year, and we will actually get pretty close to that number. Don't know where we're going to end up yet. It all depends on people pay their taxes and if they pay it on time. But any questions on that?
Yeah.
Set asides. It's holding constant. If you notice, we finally paid you back for the buildings and grounds and money that we borrowed out of this cash flow. But you also allowed us to use money out of the security line item, which I need to highlight for you. It was coded, and at the end of the month, it was coded against safety instead of security. Not a big deal for y'all, but in the finance world, what that means is it is against the wrong program area. I placed it here because this is where the money is, but I need you to know there's another area where it's slightly negative to the tune of $99,125,000. And I'm being upfront with you to tell you we will recode it, but what I wanted to do is also tell you that that's not where it was at the end of the month. It's actually not where it was supposed to be. And that's only because safety and security are both program areas that we actively manage. There's zero budgeted under there. So it looks a little negative, but it doesn't matter because that big number of the 2.9 million that's set aside for those things, it's just out of that. And after Doug paid his money back and we borrowed this, remember what this is for though as well. We didn't use this 99,000. We were leaving a lot of money on the table with the federal government as we completed Mr. Zoll's POPS grant from 2024. That we have to expend that out by the end of this calendar year. And what we wanted to do is go ahead and get 2 major projects completed. And those are both underway, and we have purchase orders completely cut for those, and both of them are basically in process. So what I had planned to do with this is pay you back with carryover money, which is basically money that will be in our budgeted line items already established.
Okay.
All right, any questions?
Yeah.
All right. Set asides is done. Overall, the revenue budgets look really good. What I wanted to highlight to you is that we are overall receipts, if we go down to the bottom 10, is 6.4 million out of 66 million that comes in. So it looks like from most people's perspective, over 2 million has it come in. But if we scroll up a little bit, you'll see cafeteria is at 911. And we have another $500,000 up here, roughly, under state transportation. Those are 2 areas, as you're well aware, state transportation and and federal cafeteria that are reimbursement and or sent to us in big chunks along the way. Also, cafeteria, if we don't spend it, we don't get it back. If we spend it, we get it back. So there's this process in place. So of the almost 2 million that we have, and I'm speaking in almost, not absolutes, in the almost 2 million that we have left, 1.5 is already, basically spoken for, and the other 500,000, think back through our taxes and what hasn't come in yet, is roughly, if we do all these different amounts and we start looking at all the different taxes that comes in and such, you kind of start to see where we're pretty close in all our areas and bringing our revenue, which is a good thing. We're not that far off. And I think that we're in a good spot this year, regardless of what happens on taxes. I think we're in a really good spot and we're looking really good for this year in regards to the, end of the year finishing strong. So, I think I mentioned to you already about CBOC, so if there's no other questions, then that's my report for the evening.
Thank you, very thorough.
Thank you, thank you. All right, this too is an action item, and I'll need a motion to approve.
Chair Savage, I move to approve the financial reports as presented.
Definitely for a second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is our long-range agenda. And I was trying to figure out which, things to highlight, but I think they're all need to be highlighted.
All of them, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're all talked about. So this week on the 19th, we'll have Blue Jay Cabaret at the high school at 6 p.m. On the 20th, we'll also have a Blue Jay Cabaret at 6 p.m. at the high school. The Character Palooza will be at West Seaford at 10 a.m. on the 21st. We have on the 24th, our Miss Teacher Night at the Seaford McDonald's. Please go out and help Blaze Elementary. That will take place from 5:30 to 7:30. So, don't eat your fries at 5, wait till 5:30, okay? So we can support Blaze Elementary. The Polar Bear Plunge, I believe it was rescheduled for this day, March 1st.
Shout out to Gary Zoll,
And Rehoboth Beach. So, if you can head out there, support Team Seaford, do that.
Hope for some more money.
And I know they're all posting pictures on, our social media page. We have National School Social Worker Week, starting March 1st through the 7th. We appreciate them for what they do. We have National School Breakfast Week, March 2nd through the 6th. We have our Spring Book Fair at Fred Douglass, the 2nd through the 6th of March, and that will happen during school, so make sure you can give the kiddos money to get the, erasers that smell good. Then we have, Inclusion Week will be celebrated the 2nd of March through the 6th. On the 3rd, we have Read Across Fred, parent evening, during school, and that will be at Fred Douglass. Dr. Seuss Day will be all day at Fred Douglass on the 3rd as well. And if you are part of the West Seaford team, we have PTO meeting at 5 p.m. on the 5th. One Book, One Part of It is 5:30 p.m. at Fred Douglass. Again, that's on the 5th. The state championship public recognition for the football team will be at 6 p.m. in the high school gym on March the 9th. We have a multicultural night at 5 p.m. at Central Elementary on the 11th. On the 12th, we'll have the Seaford High School football team. We'll be going to Legislative Hall, that is in Dover. On the 12th, we have skate night at 6 p.m. for West Seaford. That will be at Skate World, so put your skates on if you know how to do it, and make sure you have some knee pads and rubber pads as well. On the 12th of March, we have a talent show at Fred Douglass. It'll be held in the gym at 4:30. Parents, the school will be closed for your students on the 13th of March, so please do not have them walking to school or waiting for the bus to arrive. School will be closed that day for development. We will meet back here at the district office for the Board of Education meeting at 6 p.m. on March 16th. And that is what we have for our long-range agenda. The next item on our agenda is executive session. I will need a motion to go out of public session into executive session.
Chair Savage, I move that we transition into executive session.
Definitely for a second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries, and it's 6:48 p.m.